is rocking. Game 7, opening round series. Who's going to move on? The Boston Bruins or the Toronto Maple Leafs? Julian Edelman, the Super Bowl MVP, the banner captain tonight. This place exploded.
No more after this. In a terrific series, this is it. Bruins and Maple Leafs break the tie for good. Can be played along further. Carlo a drive. Save Anderson. Rebound across. Pasternak able to step around. Twist one around in front, and Anderson stopped it and held on. And they stand and wave towels. Picked up there by Andreas Johnsson. Sped onto the back now. Morgan Rielly walks it on. Rielly able to step to the opposite side and then is sent deeper for a pass in front. A great shot by Matthews is answered by Rask.
Morgan Rielly does a good job of escaping some coverage, and Austin Matthews finds a soft spot. But boy, what a save here to start the game for Tuukka Rask. An awfully difficult save to make early on.
Carson Kuhlman got it back up the wing. Johansson tried to return it to him, blocked by Hainsey, and pushed back ahead. Then thrown along by Moore. Wheeling back in is Johansson, and that turned aside by Anderson. Trevor Moore boomed into there by Krug, and the linesman went down as well. One of the few players on this Toronto team that has been as far as the Stanley Cup final before, and he won in 2014 with Los Angeles. Nice work by Marner. Out of the glove. Rebound. Another save made by Rask, and he's able to cover.
That can't happen. He goes end-to-end right there. That can't happen. You got to slow him down further up the ice. He shouldn't be coming with that much speed, but he's able to work a self-pass. McAvoy tries to step up, but he gets a little screen there from Zach Hyman. First shot in and out of the glove of Rask, but Rask stays with it.
He almost got it 5-hole. That's his first shot on goal since game 4.
For Brandon Carlo.
Held on to the point, and it's Jake Gardiner. Hands it across. Travis Dermott flipped one. Fluffed off by Rask, and can be started back up again by Kuhlman. This is held now by Achari. Turned along to Corrali. Moves to the front, and his shot was kicked away. Worked along by Grzelcyk. Along for Nordstrom. He scores!
And this may be his first mistake he's made all series long. This is one he has to come up with. This is a sequence that can suck the life out of a hockey team. And you get a goal from your energy line, the fourth line. It goes a long way in building confidence. One that Anderson would like to have back.
A lot of face-offs this period. This is number 26. Gardiner turns there and is run off to the outside. Johansson.
Marcus Johansson swooped to the right circle, snapped it inside the far post. His first goal of the playoffs. 2-0 Bruins.
No carryover penalties nor power plays. A giveaway to Zach Hyman by McAvoy. Hyman able to pivot with this. Swings one that's off the pad of Tuukka Rask. In the very early seconds of this period, what a save. Now along with this is Hyman. Angles it to the back. Rielly with it there. Side of the net. Oh, and through the legs. A redirection by Marner, and Rask got that one too.
Well, Tuukka Rask under some pressure here to start the period.
Flopped back in by Gauthier. Spun around by Rask. Run off was Moore. Pitched along by Ennis. Gotten by Tavares. He scores! John Tavares! And it's 2-1.
A beautiful shot by Tavares. Just slips it past Rask inside the post.
And what a big goal for Tavares, who's been quiet in this series offensively. Let's see if that sparks him in the rest of Game 7 here. What a big goal for the Leafs. And if I'm Rask, I want to freeze everything I can right now to slow the momentum of Toronto.
Nylander a shot, and that knocked down in front. Another shot is shrugged away by Rask from Marlowe's stick. Scaled back by Zaitsev, but not out. They battle for it again, and Chara asserted himself. Popped on back and is tipped along by Heinen, and then he got it, fired one, save, rebound, oh, and another one scrambled around the net, and Anderson came up with it, my oh my.
Anderson the save, rebound. Anderson won a stop on Marchand. He had Muzzin draped all over him, extended with the left leg, and got it with his foot.
Rielly a shot, and in front it went off Tavares. Tavares steps to that one, poked it behind, and then right out in front it came off Johnsson, over to Matthews, and the shot is kicked away by McAvoy. Rielly with the toss. Blocked down by Carlo. Flip back into Hainsey. One-handed ahead. Might be an odd man rush. Here's Ennis moving in. Ennis is shot and getting a piece of it. Was Rask right out in front. They battled for it there. And Moore couldn't get it to settle down as he was all alone. 7 3/4 minutes to go in the second period. Riley ahead, and then Marner poked it across. Hyman got it through. Marner tried to connect in front with Tavares. Now Hyman, a shot and a save made by Rask. It's overwhelming right now. Nordstrom moved in. Down to the ice went Gauthier. A 5-man scrum, and players are tumbling all over. And it's poked back in. Not much energy left from the Bruins. Ennis a shot, and it's held by Rask. He sensed that. And play is stopped with an even 1 minute to go. Picks up Riley. Ennis able to glide around behind. Swings one that's off of Rask. Poked along by Nordstrom. Off of Corrali. One-handed across by Achari, and Corrali trying to wind his way through, and does. Corrali shot. He scores!
This guy just has a nose for the big games. Sean Corrali raced in, angled to the left circle, and snapped one by Freddie Anderson. Bruins 3, Maple Leafs 1.
Manage your emotions right now, but keep pushing.
Marchand, but that one is cut off by Marner. Marner able to bring it back out and gain the zone. Mitch Marner across and the feed in front. Oh, and Rask got in the way of the try from Zach Hyman.
He drove it at the near post. Rask slid across, made the save.
The puck was picked off, and all of a sudden they came down on a 3-on-2. Great passing play. Hyman can't convert.
That's his 6th shot on net.
Gardner again, and ahead now to Tavares. Tavares a shot off of Rask, but then it is Riley. Riley glides right back across, hands it over to Matthews. Matthews back for Riley. Riley to Matthews, a drive, and a save made by Rask. He could see it all the way. Hyman steps to it, chipped it away from Carlo, but it's walked on now by Heinen. Gave it on across to Marchand, and that one is directed back by Anderson. Another try, and Anderson grabs that one alertly and hangs on. Laid back on, and it's sent aside by Marner, but picked up there and wheeling back on is Marchand. His shot went off of Anderson and hopped wide. Achari, but then cannot be worked on any further, and it's sent back up the wing now for Zach Hyman. Hyman stepped into by McAvoy. Puck popped on back, and it's Dermott throwing one in front that hopped off Chara, and then is sent right back up to the goal crease and is cleared back down. In regulation, the Leafs need 2. Broken up by Krejci. Krejci looks, gives it on over to Carr. Score!
A close call at one end and then the put away down at the other. And the Bruins finally have some breathing room in this hockey game.
They now celebrate a 7th game win against Toronto again, and there may be a little more at the Horn. One of the things that gets forgotten over the summer is the 20 wins in the first 28 games that your team had. All that's remembered is they got knocked out in 7 by the same guys again. But this is just 1 out of 4 rounds that were pretty tough and required a lot of perspiration and tremendous skill. The official final score of this game, Bergeron scoring at 19:59, but then the logjam of players disagreeing.